Hello and welcome to the GBC Productions channel. This is episode 75. In this video, I will be replacing the batteries in some Game Boy game cartridges. Some of these cartridges are only for the Game Boy Color, like this one. Don't know how well that's showing up. This is another color cartridge. And Pokemon Crystal. This one I know the battery's dead. And here's Pokemon Yellow. This will also work on the original Game Boy. And we're also going to look at the Pokemon Green version. Now on these two cartridges the batteries are still good, but I might as well replace them. And on the Crystal cartridge it's completely dead. There's also two different batteries that are used on all these cartridges. We'll get a little closer look at that in a moment. Alright, so in order to replace the battery, I obviously have to get into the cartridge. So I'm using the Nintendo screwdriver. I'll take the screw out. Then I slide the top of the cartridge forward and then lift it off, and then the whole circuit board comes right out. So this one is a CR2025 with solder tabs on it, and I have replacement batteries. Now on this cartridge it's a CR2016 with solder tabs. And we can see this battery is a little bit smaller. I'll set this aside for now. I don't want to get the cartridges mixed up. Now let's take a look inside of one of these Pokemon cartridges. How about the Pokemon Green? That uses a regular screwdriver. Let me go find the right screwdriver. It'll be interesting to see how this battery backup is on this cartridge. This one doesn't feel like it wants to slide very well. There we go. This battery just slides out of the holder. There's no soldering involved in this one. Get a little closer view of how it just pushes right out, just like that. That's a simple one, I'll do that later. Now on to the Pokemon Yellow cartridge, which uses the standard Nintendo screwdriver. And that is this CR2016 with the tabs on it. And I've got another half dozen cartridges off camera that I'm not even going to show. So I'm going to start with this cartridge, and then we'll go from there. I'll go set up my soldering iron. I've got it clamped in my PC board vise, and my soldering iron is warming up. And before I get going, I want to point something out here. On the original battery, you can see the plus side is down and the minus is up. On the new battery, in this case, it's the opposite. So you have to be aware of where the plus and minus is on the board. If I soldered it in this position, it would be backwards. So it's very important to be aware of where the plus and minus is. Fortunately, it is labeled on the board. So to start, I'm going to see if this solder melts or if I need to add some more. Melts fine. I'll tighten down the vise so it doesn't rotate on me. So I'm going to use some desoldering braid to pick up the old solder. And I'll do the same thing on the other side of the battery. Got the pads as clean as I can get them. Warm it up a little bit more and lift the battery off. By the way, this is a Pokemon Crystal game where the battery is completely flat. And the battery's out. Now I'm going to get the new battery out of the little Ziploc bag. Now again, I need to be aware of the plus and minus and make sure that this battery is orientated properly. I'm going to get some solder. So now I'll just go in and heat these pads up and resolder them. And of course the battery shifted. Now we'll go to the other pad. Now this cartridge is done with a new battery. So I'm going to yank the board out and I'll put in the other game cartridge. And this one uses the smaller battery. I'm going to trim off the soldering braid and get a fresh end on it. And we'll desolder just like we did before. This cartridge has a CR 2016 battery with tabs. And that one's off, I'll just push it off to the side. So now I'll get the new battery. This board is marked with plus and minus, just like the previous one. So this one is just like the original battery. It goes in the exact same direction. Now I'll just flow some fresh solder in these pads. And I'll solder the other side. Now off camera, I'm going to clean the flux off of this one along with the other one. Now I'm not going to show every single battery replacement. There's about a dozen of them. So we're going to put these two cartridges back together. This is a Pokemon Crystal cartridge. We'll put it back in its housing. The cover goes on and slides back, and then we put the screw in. And this game's ready. Now for the Pokemon Yellow. Here's a close-up of the tabs. And you can see the slot here. Slides in and slides back. And then we'll put the screw in. So I have about 10 more cartridges that I'm going to do off camera. This is a NASCAR cartridge. Don't forget to subscribe for more, mash that like button, and comment below. Until next time, this is Uncle D from GBC Productions, signing off.